Hello and welcome to the next video. Today I'm going to teach you guys a technique that I learned from Eckhart Tolle. He's a best-selling author. He wrote The Power of Now, and he's also a spiritual teacher. Highly recommend looking up his stuff, getting his book. He's a great teacher and I've learned a lot from him. But moving on, this is something I learned from him. This is a very basic technique on how we can be the observer of our bodies and how we can put our awareness on our bodies. And this is just a beginning meditation. This is kind of a wake-up call for most people that have never meditate, where they kind of just go, whoa, that's pretty cool. So hopefully this can help some of you, especially those that have never or are just beginning to meditate. It's a great thing to do. So I got this chair here so that I can put my arm here. I encourage you to find something to put your arm on so that your hand can hang freely, so that it's not touching anything. So if you're at a desk, find something to prop your arm up on so that you can completely relax your hand and not have it touching anything, so that your fingers can just hang freely. If that's not possible for you, that's fine. You can do this standing up and just kind of let your hand dangle down to your side. That'll work too. Okay. So go ahead and put your hand in this position any way that you can, and I want to have you completely relax your hand. Okay. Try not to use a single muscle in your wrist, in your fingers, in your forearm. Try to completely relax it as much as you possibly can. And we're going to close our eyes, and I'm going to be speaking a little bit through this meditation so that you guys can understand where I'm going with it. But the important thing is that today we're going to be the observer of our hand. Okay, we're going to observe our hand, and we're going to feel our awareness on our hand and feel the aliveness that is in our hand. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys go ahead and close your eyes. We're probably going to do this for about 2 minutes. I want you to take 2 deep breaths in. And I want you to put your attention on your hand. And I want you to ask yourself a question. How do I know my hand is there? Without moving it, without seeing it, how do I know it's there? Is it the temperature of the air? Can you feel the temperature on your skin? Or can you feel the air moving in between your fingers in the room? Or some people might even feel a slight tingling sensation in their hand. Whatever it may be, just focus on how do you know your hand is there right now? If your mind starts to think of other things, just remember what we're doing and come back to your hand. We don't get upset or angry at ourselves if our mind wanders during meditation. We simply remember what we're doing and come back. Be the observer and the awareness in your hand. How do you know it's there? Now, before we end, I want you to notice the difference in the feeling from the hand we're focusing on and your other hand that we're not focusing on. Do they feel different? And lastly, I want you to come to the realization that when we are focused on our hand and what we're feeling in it, Your mind isn't thinking of anything else. It's focused on your hand, and your mind is at rest. It has one task, and that is to focus on the hand. This is a great exercise to free the mind, even if it's just for a moment, to reach some clarity. Go ahead and open your eyes. And I'm not going to say too much more in this video. I want to know what you guys felt. I want to know if this helped you in any way. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what your experience was. I'm curious. But I want you to remember the last thing I said. Your mind may have wandered a little bit, and that's okay. It's normal, especially if you're just beginning. But when you were truly focused on your hand and truly focused on what you were feeling, your mind was only there. It wasn't anywhere else. Your mind wasn't about on what happened earlier today. It wasn't on what you've got to do tomorrow. It was focused on right now, what we're doing right now. And that's the important thing to come to realize. The more that we can do that, the more we can gain that point with our mind, where our mind begins to do things to repair the body and to repair the mind. And that's where you're going to see the benefits of meditation really coming through. So that's what I'll leave you with. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this, is just to learning to focus on one thing and just to kind of rest the mind, even if it's just for a moment. So remember, meditate to be still, be the observer, and be curious. And we'll see you in the next video.
I believe that if we are honest with ourselves, that the most fascinating problem in the world is, who am I? What do you mean? What do you feel when you say the word I? I, myself.